Most people think they know Georgia. Peaches, peanuts, savannah. What they don't know, Georgia had a natural wonder so breathtaking they called it the Blue Niagara. And one night, the river took it back. 9 places, most you've never seen. And number 6, an 855-foot stone wall built by people who vanished without a trace, will make you question everything. Forget the postcards. Buckle up. This is Unseen Georgia. 1. Radium Springs in Albany, Georgia. For most of the 20th century, one of Georgia's 7 natural wonders. A crystalline blue spring pumping 70,000 gallons of water per minute from deep underground aquifers. The water glowed an otherworldly shade of blue. Locals called it the Blue Niagara, a casino ballroom, a resort, a swimming hole. All of it was built around an impossible spring in the middle of the American South. Then the Flint River flooded in 1994. The spring silted over. They cleared it out. Then Tropical Storm Alberto hit, and this time the river stayed. The Blue Niagara was silenced. What's left today? A quiet, ghostly park on the riverbank and a historical marker explaining what the world lost. Fun fact, at its peak, Radium Springs drew more annual visitors than the Georgia state capitol, making it the most visited roadside attraction in state history. It is publicly accessible in Albany, year-round, free, go with context, not a swimsuit. What you're visiting is the memory of something magnificent. Georgia's losses are only part of the story. Up next, a place so primordially wild, it feels like the planet never stopped breathing. 2. Okefenokee Swamp. We journey to a place where the ground itself isn't sure it's solid. The Okefenokee Swamp, 438,000 acres straddling the Georgia-Florida border. One of the largest intact freshwater ecosystems in North America. The name comes from the Hitchiti language, land of trembling earth, not poetry, geology. Much of what looks like solid ground is a floating peat bog. Step on it and the trees around you shake. This is Blackwater, tea-colored water stained by tannins from millennia of decaying vegetation. Alligators, black bears, sandhill cranes, indigo snakes, a pre-human world that somehow survived everything the 20th century threw at it. The Okefenokee is the headwaters of both the Suwannee River and the St. Mary's River, 2 of the last undammed Blackwater river systems in the entire Southeast. Go to Stephen C. Foster State Park for deepest wilderness access, Okefenokee Adventures at Folkestone for guided paddling. February through April is the sweet spot. Alligator activity peaks, migratory birds arrive, and mosquitoes haven't mobilized. Next, an island the Carnegies built a dynasty on, abandoned entirely, and surrendered to the wild. 3. Cumberland Island, Georgia's largest barrier island, 17.5 miles of undeveloped Atlantic coastline, maritime forest, and tidal marsh. No bridge, no resort, no development. You reach it by ferry from St. Mary's, and when you step off, you step into a different century. Wild horses, descendants of Spanish colonial stock, wander through the ruins of Dungeness, the Carnegie family's grand mansion, gutted by fire and slowly reclaimed by the earth. Spanish moss drapes roofless stone walls, one of the most hauntingly beautiful places in the American South, without argument. In 1996, John F. Kennedy Jr. married Carolyn Bessette in a candlelit ceremony at the First African Baptist Church here, one of the oldest standing black churches in the United States. The island was that private, that unknown. Cumberland Island has a 100-person per day visitor cap, National Park Service policy, making it one of the most protected and least crowded barrier islands on the entire Atlantic coast. If you go, book the ferry at recreation.gov well in advance. The wild horses are unmanaged. Give them space. This is a place that demands respect and rewards the prepared explorer. From sea level, we go vertical. Georgia's highest summit is next, and on a clear day, it shows you 4 states at once. 4. Brasstown Bald, the highest point in Georgia, 4,784 feet in the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest. On a clear day, the observation deck reveals 4 states simultaneously: Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Ridgeline after ridgeline, fading blue into the distance. The summit is bald, treeless, because of extreme wind exposure and shallow, rocky soils. Spruce fir ecosystems cling to the upper slopes. more typical of Canada than the Deep South, making it one of the most ecologically unusual landscapes in the entire Southeast. The Cherokee called this mountain Itsaye, place of fresh green, and considered it sacred high ground for the entire nation. The summit averages 10 degrees cooler than the valley below, making Brasstown Bald, Georgia's highest natural air conditioner in a state famous for its heat. There's a shuttle that runs from the parking lot for a small fee. The trail is 0.6 miles at a steep grade if you want to earn the view. October brings peak fall color. Next, a city of 6,000 people that rose, ruled, and disappeared without leaving a single written word. 5. Etowah Indian Mounds, a capital city built from earth and labor, abandoned without explanation. Etowah Indian Mounds, near Cartersville, Georgia. Between 1000 and 1550 AD, the Mississippian culture raised one of the most powerful chiefdom centers in the pre-contact Southeast on the banks of the Etowah River. At its height, an estimated 6,000 people lived within these fortified walls. 3 earthen mounds, a wooden palisade, a protective moat. The principal mound stands 63 feet tall. Climate and the power geometry is immediate. This was not just a structure. This was a statement. Command and authority shaped from the earth itself. Then, around 1550, the population scattered. No written record explains why. The site museum houses 2 hand-carved marble human effigies found buried beneath the mounds in ceremonial positions, among the most enigmatic artifacts in the American Southeast. There's a museum, self-guided trails, and interpretive signage on site. Planned 2 hours minimum. Open Tuesday through Sunday. A weekday visit puts you alone on the mounds. Someone built an 855-foot stone wall on a Georgia mountaintop. That's our next stop. Nobody agrees on who. 6. Fort Mountain State Park, Blue Ridge Mountains, near Chatsworth, Georgia. Running along the crest of Fort Mountain, an ancient stone wall, 855 feet long, 2 to 8 feet high, constructed from unmortared rock by hands that history refuses to name. Cherokee oral tradition calls them the Moon-Eyed People, a pale, strange tribe said to have inhabited these mountains before the Cherokee arrived. Other theories point to Welsh explorer Prince Madoc, believed by some to have reached North America in 1170 AD. Still others argue for an unknown Native American origin. No builder has ever been confirmed. The wall zigzags in a pattern with no clear military or agricultural logic, which only deepens the mystery. It begs the question, how did they achieve such precision, and what secrets did they unlock? The wall predates European contact by several centuries, yet uses dry stone construction techniques more commonly associated with European traditions than known southeastern Native American building practices. If you go, it's a short, well-marked hike from the main trailhead. Spring and fall are ideal. Clearer sight lines through the forest. This is a place that demands respect and rewards a prepared explorer. From a wall with no known builder to a monument with no known purpose, built to be seen from the sky. 7. Rock Eagle Effigy Mound, near Eatonton, Georgia. Between 1,000 and 5,000 years ago, the date is actively contested. Native Americans piled tens of thousands of white quartzite rocks into the unmistakable shape of a bird in full flight. The effigy stretches 102 feet from head to tail, 120 feet from wingtip to wingtip. From the observation tower, the silhouette is undeniable. A great bird, wings spread, frozen in stone, permanently oriented to face east. Eagle, buzzard, no consensus. Ceremonial, astronomical, no consensus there either. No human remains found, so it was never a burial mound. It simply exists, singular and silent. Rock Eagle is one of only 2 known rock effigy mounds in the entire Southeast, genuinely rare on a continental scale. It's managed by the University of Georgia, free and accessible year-round. The observation tower is non-negotiable. The shape is invisible from ground level. Morning visits catch the best light on the quartzite. Rock Eagle was built to be seen from the heavens. Our next stop was created by human error, and is impossibly more spectacular for it. 8. Providence Canyon. This canyon wasn't carved by geology over millions of years. It was carved by a plow. Providence Canyon State Park, near Lumpkin, southwest Georgia. In the early 1800s, European settlers cleared forests, planted cotton, and left bare soil to the rain. Within decades, gullies formed. Within a century, 43 canyons, some reaching 150 feet deep, were carved in layers of orange, red, pink, purple, and white. Less like the American South, more like Bryce Canyon, Utah, one of Georgia's 7 wonders, produced not by ancient forces over eons, but by one generation of farmers who didn't understand erosion. The canyon walls expose Cretaceous-era sediments, layers unseen for 65 million years, uncovered in under 200. Fun fact, Providence Canyon blooms with rare wild plum trees each March. White blossoms against painted canyon walls in a combination so unlikely it stops hikers dead every year. There's a 3-mile loop trail and a 7-mile backcountry with primitive camping. March for blossoms, October for fall color. Footing turns slippery after rain. Trail shoes, not sneakers. Our final destination has resisted everything humanity has done to wild places, without even trying. 9. Cohutta Wilderness. Tucked into the Blue Ridge Mountains of northwest Georgia, it briefly extends into Tennessee. At nearly 37,000 acres, the largest federally designated wilderness area in the eastern United States, and one of the least visited wild places in the entire Appalachian system. No maintained roads, no cell service, no visitor facilities, no compromise. The Jacks River and Conasauga River cut through in cold, boulder-strewn channels. Wild trout streams never stocked, only protected. To reach the best fishing water on the Jacks River, you ford it dozens of times. That's the price of admission. That is entirely and deliberately the point. The Cohutta is what Georgia looked like before Georgia had a name, and if you're willing to earn it, it will give you that back. The Cohutta hosts one of the densest wild brook trout populations in the southern Appalachians, a species so sensitive to water quality that biologists use its presence as a direct indicator of ecosystem health. This is full backcountry travel, no exceptions. Carry topo maps, bear canisters are recommended, plan river crossings for late summer or fall. The Jacks River Trail runs 16.7 miles one way, 9 places, 1 state, and if this feels like a Georgia you've never seen, that's exactly the point. Georgia doesn't shout, it doesn't need to, it simply waits for the people patient enough to look past the peaches, the postcards, and the obvious. If this video changed how you see Georgia, hit like, subscribe for more unseen places, and drop a comment telling me which of these 9 spots you'd visit first. If this video made you dream, plan, or say road trip out loud, you will love what's coming next. Click here. The next wonder is 1 click away.